Hey everyone, in this video, at least starting right now, I'm going to tell you something that you might be surprised to know. Flake ridges like this one, this is a flake I took from one of my Dalton videos, but it has a very obtuse angle from there to there. Obtuse meaning dull, not sharp, very broad. Way, greater than 90 degrees? Yeah. So there's two kinds of I guess angles, ridges that I'm kind of talking about. One will be greater than or equal to 90 degrees, and the other one is less than 90 degrees. So this is a very sharp edge. I'm going to show it by demonstrating on this elk cannon bone. I'm just going to use the ridge, just the ridge only. When I rub my finger across that, it feels sharp, like a knife, like you would a knife blade. I'm not even pressing hard. Can you see all that? I hope you can. So this is, like I said, this one is greater than or equal to 90 degrees. You want, if you get one that's less than or equal to 90 degrees, actually the edge of these is a good example. This is not a good edge. It will fail, where this one will hold up for I can't remember what. Oh, let's see. I've been using these a lot to make some tools. I'm going to show you in a little bit. But if it's greater than 90 degrees, then that's what you want. It's a strong edge that will hold up. It's durable. But if it's less than 90 degrees, like this edge here or the edge here, then it won't hold up as well. It will fail. Here's a good example. Here's a Clovis flake I took from yesterday's video, the last video. This angle right here, very sharp, fresh, right? Razor sharp, but it is weaker because it's less than 90 degrees. But this edge, greater than 90 degrees. And whenever I feel of it, it's sharp. I mean, just watch this. Again, I'm going to use this bridge right there. Get close. You can find some of these that are sharper than others. Look at the chunks coming off of that. So, imagine that you've got, I don't know, a flake that you took off of a core that's like this, and you want to use it as a kind of like a draw knife, but not a heavy duty draw knife. Maybe like a, I don't know what, I'm not very familiar with them anymore. Spoke shave, probably a cabinet scraper would be even finer. Matter of fact, let me put this in here so I don't forget, but one of the things I was going to say, I talked about this, I think also in the last video, is ivory projectile tips. They're the artifacts that I've collected, and the bone ones. All of them had flat, elongated, like from one end to the other, like flat places where they took a flake across it. But it was, the difference was it was very, very smooth. So smooth that it reflects light. Okay, now if you use just this edge and tried to replicate that, it would leave striations, so it wouldn't match the archaeological record. But if you used the ridge of a flake that doesn't fail, because when it fails it'll also create striations, so use a ridge of a flake that's greater than or equal to 90 degrees, and you can do that to bone and make it super smooth and glassy. And the reason you want an ivory projectile point to be super smooth, smooth as glass, smooth enough to reflect light, is for penetration purposes. So they originally sharpened that thing on a piece of sandstone. I don't know what, 80 grit sandstone or something, I'm just guessing. And then you go to a mirror-like finish that reflects light, and there's, I mean, that's like an infinite grit. It's very, very smooth. So the sandstone will catch the hair and the hide, and when it comes in contact with bone, it'll slow it down as well. But if it's really smooth, it helps with penetration. All right, and then, oh, this. So if you take something like this, this is just one example, and there's a million examples because nearly every flake is going to have this feature. Imagine you have a couple small sticks, something like this long, something you can hold in one hand, but yeah, maybe even that diameter, and you've got a slot in it, you've cut a groove in it, and you put this in there, and you put some pitch in there, and then you have another one that you do on the other side, and then you can use that and like a draw knife, just it works in both directions, forwards and backwards. That's the thing I've been hinting about that I thought was very interesting, that I didn't think very many people on this channel would know. And if you did, that's fine. I just didn't know it myself. Now, I'm going to talk about other things, but I also want to hit a rock. So, let's see if we could take some more flakes off of this. I don't know. Yeah, we'll start with this. Alright, so because of this crack, it limits what I can do with this rock. One thing that's not, I think it's kind of a different strategy, an out-of-the-box kind of strategy, is to, if you pop flakes, continue popping flakes from there to create platforms for here, then this is going to get shorter, and as it gets shorter, you're gonna create a new spot for a platform because the crack goes that way. So this comes down and you take a flake, but there's place for a platform, place for a platform. And I would be able to get some longer ones that way. There's kind of something set up a little bit right here. Might just try that first. So I'm gonna true up this edge, make it kind of like bifacial, right? It already looks that way, but it needs to be cleaned up. This needs to be gone. That, and need to get rid of this cortex, and yeah, right there, and blend that a little bit. So let's do that. I'm going to talked a little bit about core preparation already in the last video. Oh, that reminds me, something I wanted to, I mentioned part of this in the last video, but I forgot to mention the other part. When I took this flake, this was the first flake on the ridge. The platform original was, I don't know, something, yeah, I think it was like this, not perpendicular to the ridge. And I mentioned that the striking point where you hit should be perpendicular to the flake you want to take, the ridge along the flake you want to take. So I didn't say, I don't remember if I said all the reasons why, but one reason I definitely did not say why is Clovis is different than other cultures. This this part right here, it needs to be square with the rest of it, or they have to break it off before they can haft it. And it is believed that Clovis hafted many things in little antler handles and bone handles and stuff like that to give them additional leverage. So I'll give an example. There's a couple here, a couple flakes. This is a flake that would not be a good Clovis flake. See, the striking platform is not perpendicular to the flake or the mass or the ridge. So it creates a twist. This one, it goes off like that. So you would have to waste a lot of this flake for it to be symmetrical to use as a Clovis tool. Here's another example. This is one I took off the Knife River yesterday. Not a very good Clovis flake. If you can see it, it's twisted. So from, there's where I struck it. So from where I struck it, it curls like that. So it means that you'd have to break this off about where my thumbnail is to get rid of the crooked part, so that you could use, and then now you've wasted part of it. So that's part of the difference between Clovis and Dalton. I was going to mention differences. That's one of them. These are protruding isolated platforms perpendicular to the ridge and flake you want to take, so that you don't end up with a twisted flake. You can see where, in order to make that clean, that had to go. So that is gone. Before I take any more flakes, I was going to mention more about the flake science of these ridges. So not only, remember I said that ridge, that's apparent in a lot of flakes you're going to take. It's also going to be on the remnant core that you took the flake from. They're also going to have them. So this is a very useful element as well to Clovis people. So this is, for example, this is a obtuse angled ridge. It's greater than 90 degrees, and it's sharp. When I put my finger on it, it does have to feel sharp, because if it doesn't feel sharp, it won't take the material that you're wanting to take off of it. Like there's one that's dull, but this one's sharp, that one's sharp. So you could take this, or imagine a larger core. This is heavy, this has got some weight to it, and you can put that angle on the material you want to work, and you want to take off a lot at once, you know, in both directions, and push real hard, rock it like that, and you find that groove where you feel you're removing material versus not removing material, and you can remove a lot of material with just this. And that just sounds sharp. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to give an example. Before I do though, I asked about these. I think in my introduction video, this is a Dalton core. What could they be used for? Same thing. You could, wrap that in a piece of leather and use one of them ridges right there. Put a piece of leather in the palm of your hand. And go to town on something smaller. Same thing with this one. This is the other Dalton core. That ridge has got a little bit of sharpness to it. That one's dull, but that one's sharp. So you take that and go to town on something. Now, the core is useful. You might find this in the creek and not even know that it was a tool. This is the Knife River core that I took those blades off of a video from the last video, and this was less than 90 degrees here, but it is uber sharp. And this little tiny ridge, which is, it's almost 180 degrees, it's got enough of a swoop that it's sharp. So you take that in your hand and go to town with it. So the example I was going to talk about is here on this piece of wood, and it is this piece of wood right here. I cut this, it was right there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It was right there like that. And I used, let's see, I'm gonna just keep it right there. I used this primarily. I wrapped where it was in my palm right here so I could reduce the impact and shock to my hand and not cut myself. But you can see all the color on that, both sides. That is, and it is still so sharp right there. Part of that is not even any duller than it was when I first started. Same with that right there. It's almost, you can't say everything's infinite because it does wear down on a micro level, but that was incredible. So that was me doing a more like a quote unquote Neanderthal experiment, but in reality they would have been more efficient with it. I see that it works, so if I was going to continue to chop wood and use an edge like that, I would create a special tool for it. By the way, another way you can create a tool just like that is you take, say you take this flake and you snap it in like, I don't know, at least probably 2 pieces. Get rid of this part where my finger's covered because it's not sharp from there to there, and just break it right here. It's easy to break these on an anvil. You can just take anything just about and use it as an anvil. Find the spot where you want it to break underneath and then hit it right on top where it's making contact, not out on the end, and it'll break right there for you, easy. But you break that in 2 pieces, and then so imagine one of them that looks like that, and then you're gonna cut you out a shallow spot on the end of your stick, and you're gonna so imagine that's in there, it's pitched like that. So there's your tool and your leverage. You can rock it, push it, pull it, apply weight to it, and control. Safety. Control is safety. I haven't hit this rock yet, have I? Well, I took 1 flake. I just I like to blend into there because this is in the way. The reason why it's so hard to chip is because I still have so much to say, and I want to do some chipping where I don't have so much to say, and it's coming. There. I only got part of it off. It really just kind of went to the ridge, so not as helpful. Let's come up here. And that's why I don't like to grind ridges unnecessarily, just because it might cut my hand whenever I hit the rock. There's no way ever I am going to do that unless I know already in advance what the tool's used for. And if that edge doesn't matter if it's ground or not, then I don't care. But if I'm using it or plan to use it or think I might use it, absolutely not am I going to grind it. I'm going to wear a paleo glove. Cool, got some of that off. That's interesting. We're so, as flint knappers, we're so used to pulling flakes when we want to draw them further. It's really just hard support on the flake that helps the flake travel farther. So I was pulling in this direction to get that flake to go right where I wanted it to. That's beautiful. All right. That's sharp. That point. I remember that thing. All right. I'm just looking to see if I want to try to get something longer, but I do believe I'm going to get crack interference if I try to go to there. Nice ridge that I could follow. So I'm not going to do that. Need that pretty much. This to show you whenever this is my platform area to hit here, this is really sticking out, but not anymore. And that's a great tool flake for sure. So we're not, like I have said many times, it's coincidentally nearly every Clovis flake you take can be a tool, like intentionally. But there is going to be some waste. It's not going to always be that way. Is that a crack? No, I think that's okay. Oh, there is a crack right there. Wait. Yeah. We're going to get some of that off. This isn't going to be set up ideal for like a bifacial core. It's going to be kind of close. This kind of napping, it's thought out napping, almost like short look ahead chess game. Kind of look around like you do in a chess game, make sure you're not in trouble, and then you prepare to make an attack, then you make an attack, and then you set up your next attack. So you can plan some of it. And because they did that so much, that's why they weren't wasteful. And I'll get a little chunk. So, there might be specific tools for sure that require very skillful napping, but crude tools can also be pretty effective as well. What I'm doing is a lot of pushing down. Takes off the small flakes, abrades a little bit at the same time. Platforms just emerge on ridges that way, and you hit them. The thin spots go away on either side. I said it a lot in Dalton videos. And I don't think that part's going to matter too much. It's interesting how this is taking shape. Well, that was a beautiful blend. So, yeah. It's going to jump into that crack quicker than I originally thought, I do believe. We got a nice, this video is about core platform preparation, core preparation. I've got a, pretty nice evenly bifacial edge here. I'm trying to smooth out this face. This side's pretty smooth all the way. Most of this ridge should go away on the first flake. Flake. But what I was going to say was, in order for it to be a perpendicular, it's not set up right. This ridge runs off that way while the platform's right here. So I can move this edge all the way over, or I can take some flakes here, or here might be better. Take a big one, get rid of the cortex. Yeah, because it looks pretty good. So I'm not going to get much here anyway, 1 or 2 flakes, because of the way that's set up. So let's see if we can do it. I need one big flake to hit right here and scoop out. It'll be wide. Just too much. It's going to take off too much. And the angle ain't very good. Maybe when I say maybe, it means I think there's a chance. And usually when I think there's a chance, I have a pretty good success rate. It's whenever I don't think it'll go and then try it, that's whenever it fails. So get it ready and then reevaluate, and I might change my mind. In case my blow doesn't land perfectly, I do not want these edges to fail. So I'm being rather forceful here. It's too much to hold in my hand. Feels like it's going to be a big flake. Am I being wasteful? I don't want to be wasteful as a Clovis snapper. That needs to go, and I need a platform. still too much to hold. Alright. There. Get a little bend. Yeah, that didn't get what I wanted. Means I'm gonna have to hit it up there, but I ain't gonna do it yet. I'm gonna do it till I have to do it. There. That's what I was trying to get. That gives me a better striking surface. But that is a weird flake, so if they did something with that, I have no idea what it was. By the way, some might say a hand scraper, right? I mentioned that I don't think they use many stone scrapers like for hides. I believe that they used bone instead. Bone as easily, it was readily available. It's easy to, when it's fresh, I mean, you can, it fractures easily in a controlled manner. It's dense. It's not like a lot of the animals today. For this first blade, I want it kind of thin, not too thick for this crested blade. That's the goal. If it doesn't look like it'll work, then I'll adjust for something thicker. Is that right? Really need to get rid of that. That's in the way. I don't think I can get rid of it. Now, will my rock reach it? What rock do I want to use? This one? double strike. And I don't want that, so I might have to, I'm probably gonna have to isolate that. Dang it. Okay. No biggie. I should have believed it first. It's the platform is set up right there. It's just going to hit this right here and create a problem. Shouldn't take much to move it out of the way. Hopefully. Not quite. I was wanting to use this as the next platform so I wouldn't have to take more material here. So I was trying to be stingy a little. God dang, I missed. Took my whole platform off the side of my hammerstone. At least I'll get that thin flake now, thin corner. I had to take a new flake and start over. Yeah. Heck, that turned out being a lot easier. Yeah, I'll have a thin crested blade here now. Well, that worked because I apparently wanted a crested blade. A thin one, not a thick one. This is just to keep from cutting myself. If I can do it. It's pretty sharp. Got it right here. Okay. Crested blade. Yep. Gosh, I really want to take that big old back flake so I don't have to keep doing this. See, ideally you want just one big Hertzian cone here, and then you don't really have to do a whole lot of platform preparation, but because this is the way I decided to go about this and the problem that I created in the beginning, that makes it a little harder. So, what's this? I'm pulling on the stone to try to get that, like when you pull your finger effect. Let's see what I got. I got the cortex off. There's not much good material in that, but that cortex is gone. And I have a better striking platform. It's Hertzian cone, but it's didn't go all the way out there. So we'll see if we can work around it. I'm going to pause it for a minute and look at this. Just consider me a novice Clovis snapper. Well, that is some kind of ugly. I don't like it. It ain't gonna give me what I want, but I'm gonna have to take the flake though. I'm gonna have to. When problems happen, you just work around them. I don't like this angle because it makes the flakes run into that crack more, and I really like this angle because it doesn't. So I'd like to get up there, hold it like this. Flat, but a little bit of a twist at the end. So like I say, not a great tool flake. It scooped out. So you gotta fix that. You can't have that be in your way. Just a small irregular one here, trying to get back on track. I wish this crack wasn't there. That's the same. We're gonna get it back on track. Like I say, I'm attacking this like it's a prismatic core, but I didn't prepare it like one. I'm using it more like a random core, but I was. But huh. Here too. There. the edge. A hair bit of redemption. This, you strike up any higher, and man, this thing is in the way, and that was nice. Thank you. All right. I still don't have pretty platforms, but okay. So let me give an example. I've given this example many times. I'm gonna do it again. I just took a flake right there, clean it up, and it isolates for the next flake along a ridge where there's areas of an area of mass near the edge. So I pushed down and it got rid of all that thin stuff, and it exposed that. See? Now this is not square up here, so let's see if I can do it the right way. Well, I could take one right there. I could take a really thin one along this ridge. Maybe if I can do something kind of like the last one. See if I can push off some more of this thin stuff. Okay. So sharp down there. That's along that crack. Decent blade. It will work. I can use that. I'm sure the Clovis would laugh and say, "What do you mean? You think you can use it? We can use everything." That went right down to that crack. So now, this is the hard part. What I was hoping to do is literally just barely initiate the flake and let it terminate down at the crack without blowing a chunk off the end. That's really hard to do though. As it gets thicker, it's easier, but it's kind of thin down here right now. If I was up here on this surface, it wouldn't matter because the angle is different and I'd start getting flakes that wouldn't hit the crack. They'd come off different angle. Alright. To me, everything's serious, so I mean, I can see I have a heavily backed ridge on the platform there, but to be able to make it to that crack, a flake like that, that would be a really good tool flake. Especially if I can get the platform square to it, but this has been the hardest part so far. And these flakes would come off a lot quicker if I could if I had better striking surface. Oh man, I could take it, but let's try to do this. Alright. Pretty close, but it ain't quite there. Okay, I took a couple of back flakes to expose that a little bit better. And it's square with a ridge, perpendicular with the ridge square. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. We're not there yet, though. Not ready for striking. So let's see. Thicken it right there. I haven't talked about a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about in this video. They require my hands to be free to show you some things. But I wanted to chip too. What I like about this is how it's protruding so much that I might just barely have to tap it. It's like really isolated and good. I don't want to have to hit it hard. Well, always, for one reason, because you don't want to break it. But two, because of that crack. So it could break the flake just because the crack is there, because the flake won't want to come off. There. need a corner. The actual contact point is spread out. There's one on the right side and one on the left side of the platform, so I'm trying to grind those down to where there's just one. With my sponge abrader. It's a joke. It's not that Dalton didn't do this too. They just didn't do it as much. They had a lot more material. And I didn't have to carry it as far. Because it was just right down the creek or something. That corner's got to go. There's a little nub sticking out. It's in the way. Clovis, description of Clovis platforms. Highly polished or ground, protruding, isolated. I don't really. That's one of them that might go, but let's see. There. Oh, didn't make it to the crack. Probably because the platform was a little wonky, maybe? No? Oh, it did make it. It just, the tip flew off. It just went right down to the crack. But I thought it was going to take off a little bit more, be a little thicker at the tip. But that's an excellent tool flake. Excellent. Nice and flat and square. It's got thickness to it, so it's strength. Just, man. Okay. Challenging place there. Okay, just have to remove some material. Luckily, we're at a point where we don't have to remove a lot anymore. I don't want to intrude on this as much as possible. Clean it up, see what we have. close to good. Humda har. There. Yeah. I don't want to take that flake. I wonder if I can hit this. Bet I can. I was thinking about that earlier. Sounded funny, but I think it was okay. Maybe way better than I expected. Woo! Right to the crack. Man, I mean, I am trying not to hit it so hard that it blows that off or breaks this flake. But this is an incredible tool flake. Yeah. I love it. Heavy duty. All right. We've gotten a few tools out of this core, even dealing with that crack. All right, we'll clean it up. take the back flake or two, or however many is needed, because that is too important of a flake. Gotta get it. I feel like it's important. I feel like this is what they would do. But that don't mean that's what they did. I'm just guessing. I mean, it's an educated guess, I guess, but I wasn't there, but I sure wish I was. I know they'd be laughing at me, but maybe they'd see enough potential that they might teach me a thing or two. Right. I got to take a back flake. Got to. I see it. Right. I'm trying not to wipe out the whole edge over here, because when you round that off, it's difficult to take flakes from. Bigger flake. Take a little one here first. Might have been too much to release at once. Now let's try it. There. Okay. Show you what I did. I was basically trying to get this flake, but it was too much to take off. And so I took that flake first, then took this one, and boy, did I get lucky. It did not even take off my other edge. It left it like that, scoopy, which is what you want. So that leaves you a way to get in still. Alright. We are getting there. Wide platform. Wide initiation. This flake here reminds me of one from, what was it? Taking blades from a core using a hammerstone. An old video of mine, I don't remember. Come on. Alright. Work with that. Trying to create a platform and keep it square. Man, that was beautiful. That could have been the flake I needed. It's such a small little blending flake, but with that gone, now I have this ridge right here that takes my angle back that way, and maybe with just a hair more preparation, I'll be able to hit just on the other side of that ridge, and it's going to be a thick flake. Well, I don't know if I want it to be that thick. Maybe I do. I wonder if I can make a thick handheld chisel. Maybe not handheld. Boy, that looks... Careful. trying to really tighten up and isolate my contact point. Okay, we are close now. What's that look? It could be over there just a hair more. Wonder. Tap this. Sparks. It's not an exact middle like I would like it to be, but I think it'll work. Might turn out to be just good, just good. Okay. This broad square platform, but the corners are lower than the middle, and the face is lower than just inside. So my striking point is up there a little bit. It's right in the center of my finger, and that terminates heavily into that crack. So I don't want to knock it off of there because there's still some flakes we can take over here as long as it doesn't break off. That's what I want. Okay, we're gonna go for it. Let's see. Surprised me. Surprised me. It didn't go all the way to the crack. Maybe because I was scared to hit it too hard, but that's one of those kind of accidents that really does help you, because I'm not shooting angles into that crack as steep. Now they're going to be more shallow and so a better chance of getting more blades out of the core. This is still, oh, this is an excellent flake. This isn't in the middle, but you just work all this material up to there if you're wanting to make a chisel or something out of it. I might do that myself, I don't know. Anyhow, let's do some more. Clean it up. Straighten everything up while we do it. First flake, second flake. Where that terminated on that side of the flake, that's the high spot. I don't want to send that across there, it'll be too flat, too broad. So now I'll scrunch in the rest of it. Big scrunch here. Littler one there. Blend it. Yeah. Okay. Risky. Little flake. Like that. That was all that needed. That was, now I'll blend in my high spot and I'll show it to you after. Blending into that high spot. What I try to do on every platform, doesn't always work, is I try to create a no-brainer platform. I love those. You just, because they're set up so good, all you gotta do is hit it. I just think I was afraid to hit that last one. Is that crack? I'm glad I wear these glasses because I shoot those straight up in my face sometimes. I wouldn't normally be doing that. I would do it off to the side. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I like it. I haven't ground it yet, but see. There's a high spot. Right in line. I want to hit the high spot. It'll initiate just behind it, and that's the thickness of your flake where the high spot is, because it'll create a bulb and then it'll come back and be the same thickness pretty much if you do it right. This one is starting to look like a no-brainer. like, so easy to mess up a platform. I've set them up correct so many times, and then you know, you're just trying to perfect it and you mess it up. You saw that happen earlier in this one. That should be good. I'm not going to grind that. Every time I debate, should I take flakes from this other side so I don't break it off? There's not much of the crack left in this flake, so anyhow. Oh, I do see a little problem. That's got to go right there. Now I think I have a better chance. Let's see. This one. If that crack wasn't there, this would be full length. That'd be nice. Okay. I keep loving it because it's avoiding the crack. That's better. That's better too. Now I gotta create a high spot. And sometimes those, they turn into like little points. Kind of like right now that you have to grind away because it didn't really come off the way you wanted it to. Close but no cigar, you just get a cigarette butt. I've always been able to fix them. I just don't like it. Not enough. Kind of far from it. No. Well, that's pretty close. This is awesome because I'm really maximizing this rock so far. Yeah, and you know, not let the cracks spoil it. Okay. It's important to hit these in line, and I don't hit them all in line. So one side of the face on like this blade will be wider than the other when it shouldn't be. Okay. Feel it right there. Okay, it did blow the end off. Let me put it back together. Oh, I see. because part of the crack was healed in the flake, and the flake tried to go all the way. Did that. This is a good flake. It went all the way to the crack. It's just kind of needs work to get back to right. And boy, now let me tell you what, that is sharp. It's less than 90 degrees, so the edge will fail, but that is mega sharp. Still a tiny crack there, which I've been able to avoid, and then what's left of the crack we've been working around, which I'm going to take another flake right here. I'm going to see if I can set it up like a thick punch flake to keep from yeah, okay. Hit it up there, do I? Let's see. Oh, yeah. I could knock off a spall. Would it be too thick? It's gonna try to break. This is gonna be a funky flake, I think, because there's so much crack in it. Maybe I just try to get a thin flake first. That way I can use the tool. I think I have a better chance of the tool surviving. I think that was enough. That's looking better. So, right in the middle of this, I'm going to say for the amount of, let's see, the percentage of stone projectile points versus stone tools is about 10 to 15%. That means they acquired their skill from making tools, not from making points. For every, yeah. So you're going to be making a lot of tools and points every once in a while. And that's just, I think I took that from all records, all cultures, all around the world. Okay, confident in that. Real thin one. Okay. These are real nice when you can get them to work right. Back flake, back flake, back flake, all in between earlier primary flakes. So these high spots here and here can be your strike points. So you just gotta work into it with your scruncher. This is in the way, so I'm gonna move it out of the way with my percussor. Okay. Nice clean flakes. think I need to hit that one. For it to be in line with the ridge, because it's not. Okay. Okay. That moved it over. You could see this ridge is in line with that ridge now. I'm trying to be very careful now. I do not want to mess up what I just created. I love it. Where those two flakes meet, I showed you that high spot. It's just a hair pointy. Okay. Yeah. Looks like I broke my platform or something a little bit. Oh, it was just afterwards, a little bit of an overstrike, but going into that crack, I like it. That couldn't have made me happier. That one was, you know, to me, I haven't had a good one in a while, so that one was freaking ideal. I mean, freaking ideal. Okay. I have that high spot there, but it almost doesn't look like I need it. guess they would continue to take. No, I have to take that. I have to take a thick flake here to get around the crack. It's time. I gotta knock it off of there. Talked about maybe doing it the last time. I wanted to get one more good flake. Okay. One little spot that didn't push off right. I was a little scared. Maybe push too much off. Well, I don't think it'll be in the way. Okay. Can hear that crack now. This whole thing might come off. Yay, I at least got one more tool flake out of it. It's got that crack in there. There's, yeah, I don't know. And then, maybe take that out with that. I'll clean it up a little bit anyway. Yeah. Just gonna hit it and try to get the rest of the, maybe it'll be a tool flake after we get it crack clean, but maybe not. See where to hit it, right? There. Hitting on a little ridge. It's just enough to spread out the energy. tiny one. You can see it where the dust is at. Right down that line. Killing my blow. I was trying to miss it, but I couldn't. Alright. There's still a little bit of a crack right there. Right there, I saw it when I took the last flake off, but I was hoping I was wrong. Still taking the flake into a crack. I think that the way that acted, that was the end of it. Yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah, there's this old crack here, and this flake just went into it right there. So I'm gonna see if I can pop that out. See if it just, yeah. Didn't do too much damage coming out. Sure makes for an uglier core. Should I try to get that crack out? It won't. Nah. Alright. Whew. Tried to catch that, and I caught it, and it didn't get cut. It's dangerous. Gosh, I don't know. I still need to get around that crack, and I don't have a really good tool flake I think I can make. Trying to get around it. I hope I can get that. I'm gonna hit here and try to get something off this corner. Yeah, I think think it'll do it. It is sharp. I am going to have to wear a glove. Like I said, it's not going to be a pretty tool flake. I should be able to reestablish the core after getting through the crack. Okay. Exactly like that. Sometimes you see it in your practice swing and you just don't practice no more. You just take it. And I could use that for sure. I know I've seen a Clovis artifact that looked real similar to this, where flakes were taken back on that side. Man, I got a pile of tool flakes over there, but I'm not stopping. Because this is fun, and this just looks cool. Might have to work to that. And that. So I can get something here. Well, I'm glad I took that flake earlier. Tricky one. There's a tiny little crack still. And it's going to try to take something right there. But unless I take something thick, the crack's going to be in the way. What a gamble. That's one long hammerstone pressure flake. Yeah. I'm not even grinding it. There we go. This core is feeling sharp. Remember those edges I telling you about before? Golly, that is so sharp right there. I'd like to get that blade off. It's greater than 90 degrees. That's greater than 90 degrees. Yep. Sharp. That one's pretty sharp, not as sharp. Okay. This is a wonky place to hit. This might not go. I need to take a flake down here. This core is getting sharp. Still, I don't know if I relieved it enough. I just don't like this very much. Missed. There we go. Oh, I did break it. Dang, that's the first one I broke. I think. That was beautiful. Except for the break. It can still be used. That's pretty ringy looking. Concentric rings from the strike. It's because I hit such a pointy spot, and I was trying not to hit it hard. Okay. I'm getting rid of the fat spots on either side of that ridge. There's one side, now this side. Can't get all of it, so I'm going to take back flakes. Should I take a big one now? Nah. Okay. Looks really funky. You start getting closer on the core. Sometimes it's not as clean up here, but what it exposed was perfect. And now I can clean this side up over here better. Okay. And just scrunch that back. It's delicate. That should work. A thin flake, I don't want to hit it too hard. Use a softer sandstone. There. Okay. Don't break. Looks like I did lose the end a little bit, overstrike or something, maybe, but that's a nice thin blade. The thin blade I was looking for. And the overshots mean they get shorter, but allows continuation in the core too without doing a lot of rework. That's a beautiful blade. I wish I could take this, but when I took that big Hertzian cone flake earlier, it rolled over right here, so this side is done getting anything pretty. Actually, there's a lot of this. I could take some back flakes on and get some more. Let's see. I sure wish I could take that one. I need to take that one. Let's see. I can fix that roll, maybe right here. trying to get more tools out of this core. If I do it right, it should work. And take a flake here this way, and that's where that rolled over. And if I can get some cuppy, scoopiness from taking this flake and not run it far, I'd be happy. Hard hammerstone, soft hammerstone. It's got to get in there. It needs to get in there. I know that one won't work. No. Yeah. Alright. Let's try it. Right there. Only part, but it didn't go too far. I think that's right. It's hard to get in there and get that one I really need. Total miss. There was a hit. If I come in from this side, I might have got it. Maybe. I'll show you anyway. It's right along the top. The ridge right there. And that's close. Oh, that was really close. Yeah. Or maybe I can get one there. I'm just trying to take several flakes so I can continue working on taking tool flakes. So I'm just trying to prepare the core here, taking several back flakes. Oh, I thought I heard it. Initiated, didn't do it. Oh yeah, that's right. Uh-oh. Dang it. That might not work right there. Just couldn't catch it. Yeah. So you take these back flakes in between your ridges where you can, and you're trying to create that depression in the top of your core so you can continue taking flakes. So this one, here's ridge, there's a ridge, I cleaned up in between, and I'm going to strike right there on that ridge and take something that hopefully helps me. Yeah. All right. Okay. That helps for there. I still need to take this flake. I still can get it too, I think. That's better. And you don't want them to run long, you increase your angle so they hinge. Or, yeah, rise out if you're lucky. Well, that'll have to do. I'm going to have to hold that with leather because I'll have to hit it harder to get it to initiate. I wasn't able to isolate it as much. This is one I was saying, man, I sure wish I could get that off. I'm sure I'm trying. And I just don't want to get it off. I want a tool flake. Yeah. There we go. Man, it hit it right in the right place, too. Holy cow. And it didn't break. I love it. It doesn't even look ugly now. Wow. That was that one. It's beautiful. I was trying to get rid of this stuff on the side so this, you know, straighten this ridge up, but I have a different plan to try to make it work and still have a square base. It might be a funky. Anyway, I don't think there is. Well, I don't know. I don't know, it's kind of ugly. It's probably the ugliest one to me so far. Why don't you fix it? I don't know if I can. Small chance it'll work. I freaking surprise myself sometimes. See lots of curved blades too. There's I think with its casting lab, I don't remember, but that ridge is curved, but the width and the thickness and everything is uniform with it. It makes it a great like scraper. Or even, you know, you lose some length and you've got your end scraper or small adze or whatever. Let's see what else. Yeah. I think I'll take this. That's cleaner. There was some serious scrunching there. I was pushing hard. These are my legs. I'm trying to get a special flake here. And I just made it. Good. I mean, I just made the platform that's going to make my special flake. Don't mess it up. I'm rolling the edge. Yeah. Need it to be thicker. Means I gotta roll the edge more, and that's risky too. Okay. One little ridge left. Just a hair. Okay, I got it. Was it too much? It was a hair more than I wanted. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it might work. Okay. I need to grind it, but I'm trying to take a flake right down that face. Quarter, no, yeah, 1/4 inch. 3/8 would be okay. Depends on where I end up striking. I haven't ground this yet. Yeah, might be thicker. That's even better, really. Yeah, I don't want it 1/2 inch. Alright, there's my platform. Gonna take a thick flake along that face. Don't break it. Core's getting small now. Well, I got it, but it's way thinner than I wanted. It definitely did not initiate in the right spot. I missed off to the right. Okay, here. No breaks. Nice flat square, just a perfect flake. I love hammerstones. Should I stop or keep going? It's 3 hours long. I'm gonna stop right there. Alright. There's my core. 3 hours of chipping and some talking. See if we can try to show a bunch of tool flakes. I've got it there. Okay, ouch, boy. Oh man, my pile of waste is nothing compared to my flakes, my tools. It makes me so happy. Now these aren't a bunch of perfect tools. Whoa. But it's a bunch of tools that I took at my attempt at Clovis style. Thin blades, thick blades, lots of flat surfaces for hafting. Just it's a beautiful blade. I think it's so cool to look at. Anyway, I was going to talk about some other stuff, and I ain't got time, so I'll talk about it next time. Thanks for watching this long video.